Senate is about Nigeria and Nigerians.
But you have never been invited by NDLA. You have never been charged to come by NDLA. NDLA never said anything about you.
Senate sets up probe committee as NDLA and Senate Deputy Leader trade accusations over drug dealings.
It's a serious problem that if we leave it unattended to, it's a kind of time bomb.
And the phenomenon of out-of-school children worries Senate proposes national summit to address the problem. Welcome to the program Inside the Senate, a program which brings you news and updates on the activities of the Red Chamber in the National Assembly. I am Hadiza Bayero Aliyu, your uncle. The Senate on Tuesday passed for second reading the bill seeking for an act to establish a national food reserve with the aim to further develop the agricultural sector by ensuring food security and income generation. Other activities include the consideration of reports as well as bills, motions and committee meetings. All of these activities make up our package for the week. Please stay tuned for the full reports after this short break.
Promote the unity, happiness, and prosperity of Nigeria.
The Defense Industries Corporation of Nigeria Act, Repeal and Reenactment Bill 2023.
And this act should be supported by all.
There are issues that we must use this opportunity to critically address.
We accord this motion the urgency and the necessity it requires.
I rise the second motion.
The ayes have it.
Thanks for being with us. The Senate on Thursday, 24th October 2024, received a request from President Bola Tinubu for confirmation of appointments of 7 ministerial nominees. This was contained in a letter addressed to the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, and read at the beginning of plenary on Thursday.
In compliance with the provisions of Section 147, subsection 2 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, I am pleased to forward to the Senate the underlisted 7 nominees for confirmation as ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The nominees and their portfolios are Dr. Nintawe Yuwada, Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction; Muhammadu Megari Dingyadi, Minister of Labor and Employment; Bianca Dumegu Ojukwu, Minister of State Foreign Affairs; Dr. Jumake Eduwale, Minister of Industry, Trade and Development; Idu Mukhtar Maiha, Minister of Livestock Development; Right Honorable Yusuf Abdullahi Atta, Minister of State Housing, and Dr. Suwaiba Said Ahmed, Minister of State Education. The President sought for expeditious consideration of his request by the Senate. Accordingly, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio referred the presidential request to the Committee of the Whole for consideration very soon. Meanwhile, the Senate had on Tuesday resolved to probe the allegations made by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, against its deputy leader, Senator Ashiru Lola, over drug-related cases. The anti-drug agency had used comments made by Senator Ashiru Lola during a debate on a bill seeking for establishment of rehabilitation center for drug addicts to allege that the senator had ulterior motives for the comments he made that the NDLEA was a corrupt agency. Rising under Order 42, Senator Ashiru Lola made a personal explanation on the allegations leveled against him by NDLEA.
I strongly contributed on the floor of the Senate that the Senate should look into the operation of NDLEA and advise that issue of corruption among the operative should be looked into, to the extent that after debate, I fully supported the bill on the establishment of another agency that will take care of rehabilitation. Your Excellency, by this, I'm coming under Order 42, personal explanation, to explain and clear myself on the insinuation published, especially in Daily Trust, that I, Senator Ashiru, is involved in distribution of drugs.
In his response to the explanation, President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, condemned the NDLEA for attacking Senator Ashiru based on comments made in the hallowed chamber.
You have never been invited by NDLEA. You have never been charged to court by NDLEA. NDLEA never said anything about you as a person. And we in the Senate, we see you as a gentleman to the core. You are not even somebody that takes alcohol. So these things, we must, my dear colleagues, we must take this issue very seriously, because injury to one is injury to all. And we must call this agency to order.
The Senate then resolved to set up an ad hoc committee to invite the NDLEA with a view to wade into the matter. Let's now take a break for the Senate notebook. More reports from plenary when we return. Don't go away.
Appropriation in legislature refers to the process of allocating funds from the government's budget for specific purposes outlined in laws or bills. It involves the authorization by a legislative body to spend money for particular programs, agencies, or activities. Appropriation typically follows the approval of a budget and involves determining how much money will be allocated to various departments or projects. This process ensures that government spending is transparent, accountable, and aligned with legislative priorities. Appropriation decisions can significantly impact public services, infrastructure development, social programs, and other areas of government activity, making it a crucial aspect of the legislative process in managing public finances.
You're still watching Inside the Senate. Last week during plenary, presentation and consideration of reports was a leading activity in the chamber. Let's look at the various reports considered alongside the bills and motions deliberated on during plenary of 22nd to 24th October 2024. Do stay tuned.
The Senate notes that several communities in South-South,
citing Order 41 and 51 of Standing Rules bordering on matters of urgent public importance, Senator Ned Nwoko notified the Senate of several communities in Oshimili South, Ndokwa West and Ndokwa East local government areas of Delta North Senatorial District, Delta State, that have been severely affected by recent flooding.
alarmed that this perennial flooding driven by incessant rise in water levels has worsened in recent days, overwhelming homes, schools, and farmlands.
The Senate then resolved to urge the federal government, through National Emergency Management Agency (NEMA), to provide emergency relief to address the urgent needs of affected communities. Urge the Federal Ministry of Works to consider dredging the River Niger and constructing embankments along the floodplains to provide a lasting solution to the perennial flooding in the area and other parts of the country. On reports, the Senate received and considered the reports of the Committee on Education on the compelling need to tackle the challenge of out-of-school children in Nigeria. This was presented by Chairman of the committee, Senator Lawal Usman.
The committee considered the submission from the Ministry of Education and observed that there is urgent need to hit the ground and activate the roadmap of the federal government on curtail the out-of-school children. No tangible action has been taken by the ministry considering the out-of-school children since 2024, notwithstanding its relevance. There is no reliable data to date on the out-of-school children. This deserves urgent attention to tackle the menace.
In view of the seriousness of the out-of-school syndrome and its implication on national development, the committee recommended a national summit with all major stakeholders as a matter of national urgency with a view of tackling the menace of out-of-school children in the country. Practically all the senators who contributed to the debate on the report called for urgent actions from stakeholders at all levels.
It's a serious problem that if we leave it unattended to, it's a kind of time bomb. And once the bomb explodes, it's going to consume us, particularly the northern part of this country. Because the number of children that roam our streets without going to schools is really something that needs our attention.
The crisis facing our educational system is at the core of insecurity, is at the core of leadership failure, is at the core of a lot of issues affecting the development of this country.
The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, in his remarks, said the summit was very important for very urgent actions against the menace.
The last submission by Governor Bello is a bit scary. Our children are dying because of lack of toilets, and then they struggle to go to the bush even in the night, and they are bitten by snakes. It's not something we should hear in the 21st century, but it's a reality. And that calls to question the activities of the various subnationals, because I haven't seen any primary school that one will say belongs to federal government. There is no federal government primary school, for instance. And over and above that, our committees in the Senate should be able to do more to visit these schools, take pictures, and make periodic reports.
The report was adopted.
The ayes have it.
Another report was that of the Committee on Special Duties on the South-South Development Commission Act 2024 Establishment Bill, Northwest Development Commission Act 2024 Amendment Bill, and Southeast Development Commission Act 2024 Amendment Bill, respectively. It was presented by Senator Kakashehu.
To provide development to Nigerians, sent numerous bills for the establishment of development commission across the 6 geopolitical zone. And further to that, yesterday we saw the creation of a new ministry known as the Ministry of Regional Development. And the Senate, under your stewardship, referred these bills to our committee for further legislative action.
The Senate dissolved into the Committee of the Whole, where it considered the content of the bills clause by clause before reverting to plenary, where the bills were read for the 3rd time and passed.
Long title as recommended.
Another report was presented by the chairman of the Committee on Ethics, Code of Conduct and Public Petitions, Senator Nat'l Imasuen. It was on a petition by Mr. Ewato Flaubert Oluwadolapo against the Nigerian Navy over alleged wrongful dismissal from the service of the Nigerian Navy without fair hearing and non-payment of his salaries and allowances. The petition was referred to the committee via the Senate votes and proceedings on Thursday, 20th July 2023.
Okay, I wish to present the report of the Senate Committee on the matter of the Nigerian Navy and Mr. Ewato on the matter of wrongful dismissal and non-payment of salaries.
The recommendation of the committee and hence the resolution of the Senate was to direct the Nigerian Navy to immediately compute and pay the salaries and allowances of the dismissed officer Ewato Flaubert Oluwadolapo. It, however, upheld the dismissal of the petitioner by naval authorities for mounting illegal roadblocks to serve as deterrents to other officers who might contemplate carrying out such criminal activity. On bill's consideration, the Senate passed for second reading the bill for an act to establish the National Food Reserve Agency. The bill, sponsored by Senator Saliu Mustafa, seeks to further develop the agricultural sector by ensuring national food security and income through marketing and storage services, as well as addressing emergency food crisis.
The bill seeks to further develop the agricultural sector by ensuring national food security and income through marketing and storage services, as well as addressing emergency food crisis.
Objectives of the bill include to implement the overall National Food Reserve Policy to ensure a reliable supply of designated commodities and meet local shortfalls in supply of designated commodities in the country, reduce post-harvest losses by construction and management of silos, warehouses, and other suitable storage facilities to be installed at such places and ensure the maintenance, availability, and functionality of all plants, equipment, and ancillary facilities within the country. Facilitate and provide guidelines for the establishment and maintenance of buffer stock by all states of the Federation, amongst others. A majority of senators spoke in favor of the bill.
Cannot have self-sufficiency and food security without food reserve. And for that reason, the federal government saw it right and established the agency. We even have the agency in existence. What is lacking is the legal framework for that agency. And I know very well that once you have the enabling legislation, it will certainly boost agricultural production.
This agency, when established, is not only going to work by way of price stabilization, because the agency will be charged with the responsibility of buying up surplus with a view to storing it during the period of harvest. And when there is scarcity, the agency will now bring it out and sell it to the members of the public by way of subsidized price.
The Senate accordingly, after passing the bill for second reading, referred it to its Committee on Agriculture for more legislative input to report back in 4 weeks. Still on bills, Senator Dankwambo Ibrahim Hassan sponsored a bill for an act to provide for the establishment of Federal University of Education Technical Gombe and for other matters connected therewith 2024. It skilled second reading.
The bill was read the first time in this hallowed chamber on Wednesday, the 1st of November 2023. Mr. President, for any country to achieve a meaningful development, the socio-economic and political systems must be enhanced. This is why successive Nigerian governments place emphasis on the development of individuals as a means to national development.
Some senators share their thoughts on the bill.
This bill, establishment of Federal University of Education, technical in particular in Gombe State. Technical in this sense, yes, not just producing teachers that will be teaching in technical schools and not the rest of them. They will also end up in producing students who will come out from that place that are well endowed technically.
This university will not only give higher impetus to education.
Sorry, is this one different from the one you have?
Eh?
You said you already have a federal university?
No, college. Federal College of Education Technical.
Are you converting it?
But whether you convert it or not, when you have a university technically in Gombe, you have already have got Federal College of Education Technical in Gombe. It's not difficult to integrate the two and make it very easy, and it's very cheap.
The bill was referred to the Senate Committee on TETFON for further legislative actions and revert in 3 weeks.
Welcome back. From our report of plenary proceedings, we move on to the committee meeting rooms where the ad hoc committee on refineries turnaround maintenance met over some pressing issues. The committee was created by the Senate as a result of a concern raised on Thursday, 24th October 2023 over the various issues around maintenance projects of Nigerian refineries, with a mandate to uncover waste and forestall waste of scarce public resources. The committee was chaired by Senator Ifeanyi Uba before his demise. The reins have now been handed over to Senator Kawu Sumaila on Tuesday, 8th October 2024. Speaking at the meeting, Chairman of the committee, Senator Kawu Sumaila, said the meeting is pertinent as refineries in Nigeria have become a drain pipe for finance without achieving oil-producing status. Therefore, the decision of the Senate to investigate.
The Senate President, Senator Godwin Ovot Apabio, GCON, appointed Senator Isa Jibrin as chairman of ad hoc committee. and was later replaced by late Senator Patrick Ifeanyi Uba. However, the demise of Senator Uba, the Senate President appointed me the chairman of the committee on Tuesday, 8 October 2024. Senator Karimi Steve moved a motion. While moving the motion, pointed out that the state-owned refineries in Nigeria have been a serious drain pipe of public finance, depriving the citizens of the joy of being an oil-producing nation.
Also speaking during the meeting, Senator Steve Karimi, who had moved the motion, hinted on the reason for the motion and some steps already taken by the committee before the demise of its previous chairman.
If you look at the body of that motion, sir, it has gotten to do with some of the funds expended on those refineries, contracts that were awarded for over a period of time. And Nigerians are not feeling the effects of this fund. So having gone round the refineries, we need to go into serious financial reports, financial situation, the contracts that have been awarded over the years. What are the values of these contracts?
It was a roundtable discussion as members shared their thoughts on the way forward. We will now take our profile segment for the week. Let's get to know more about Senator Enyinaya Abaribe, representing Abia South Senatorial District.
Senator Enyinaya Hakot Abaribe is the current senator representing Abia South Senatorial District in the 10th Senate under the platform of the All Progressives Grand Alliance ABGA. He was born on 1st March 1955. He earned his WASC from Government College Umuahia in 1974, after which he went on to the University of Benin, where he received a bachelor's degree in economics in 1979 and a master's degree in economics in 1982. After his academic pursuit, Senator Abaribe began a career in lecturing as a lecturer at Edo State University, where he worked from 1982 until 1985. In the year 1985, he became the area manager for Southern Nigeria at SCOA Nigeria, a position he held until 1991. In the same year, he became the Nikon Senior Manager for Investment and remained in the position until 1992. Later in 1993, he became the CEO of Integrated Mortgage Corporation, a position he held until the year 1995. In 1999, Senator Enyinaya Hakot Abaribe was elected to serve as Deputy Governor of Abia State to the then Governor Orji Uzor Kalu until his resignation and subsequent impeachment in March 2003. In the same 2003, he ran for governorship on the All Nigeria People's Party ANPP platform in 2003, but lost to his former boss, Senator Orji Uzor Kalu. In 2007, Senator Abaribe was elected to the Nigerian Senate on a People's Democratic Party PDP ticket. He was later to be re-elected in the same position to serve in the 8th, 9th, and now 10th Senates. While in the Senate, he has served as Chairman Senate Committee on Media and Publicity in the 8th Senate and Minority Leader of the 9th Senate. Senator Abaribe currently serves as the Chairman of the Senate Committee on Power in the 10th Senate. His legislative agenda includes health and security, community development, and human rights.
With this, we end this week's edition of Inside the Senate. Join us next week for another edition, even as you follow us on our social media platforms and drop your comments and feedback for follow-up action. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of the day.